The media don't tell us much truth at all. They only tell us enough truth to sound like they're telling us.
They've got to stop assaulting journalists and publishers and all these people and let them report the truth, which is all Julian Assange has done. They're covering it up because they want to get away with their war crimes. We've got to stop them from covering it up now. That's a fact. Have to stop them from covering it up. You know, free the truth, free Assange, most important.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Pick up the
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Tell someone, people, tell someone that you love. The right to publish crimes committed by our governments is the right of us as people to know. If you suppress the truth today, it means that you are preparing for more crimes tomorrow. If you don't want people to know about the crimes you commit today in Iraq or Afghanistan, it's because you're about to commit more of them in other parts of the world. That's why Julian's freedom is absolutely central to our right and to the right of human beings to live in peace. Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! The judge decided not to extradite Julian to the United States on the grounds that his extradition would be tantamount to torture and suicide. But what does she do? She reneges, she contradicts her own judgment by keeping him in a solitary confinement in Belmarsh prison, where people had committed suicide last year. People committed suicide because of their intolerable conditions of solitary confinement in Belmarsh. The judge contradicted her own judgment. She is committing murder by incarceration. Julian Assange needs to be freed, and the people who have sought his prosecution, they're the ones that need to be prosecuted. No person who was revealed in those cables has been prosecuted. People have murdered children, and they are free today. The people who were exposed as criminals by the revelations in WikiLeaks are free, but the journalist who told the world about them is in jail. Free the truth! Free Assange! Don't shoot the messenger! Free the truth! Free Assange! Don't shoot the messenger! Free the truth! Free Assange!
Don't shoot the messenger!
Free the truth! Free Assange!
Don't shoot the messenger!
that the right way up, that one? I didn't. Oh, that one was right.
Free Julian Assange. Journalism is not a crime. Truth is not a crime in the hands of the citizenry. It is when it's withheld from the public. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange.
Thank you to all the wonderful people from all over the world who have taken the time to understand the issues of this case and bravely spoken up to defend Julian Assange in the face of the awful and totally unfounded media smears and propaganda, as well as the intimidation produced through Julian's inhumane treatment. Thank you to all the people who have participated in spreading the truth about Julian Assange. We must, however, fight on and free him completely. Find out the truth about Julian Assange. Support Julian Assange. Stand with Julian Assange. Speak up for Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange. The denial of Julian Assange's bail is a continuation of the persecution and torture of an innocent multi-award-winning journalist. The arrest of Eric Levy, a 92-year-old Assange supporter, shows us the depth of cruelty the UK state is prepared to stoop to. Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange.
While Julian Assange remains arbitrarily detained, all the crimes he has revealed are easy to overlook, which is precisely why Julian Assange is being persecuted. Free Assange. Give him real freedom. Pick up the phone, Scott Morrison, and talk to Donald Trump and encourage him to pardon Julian Assange to protect him from the deep state. Even though Julian doesn't need to be pardoned because he hasn't committed a crime. You have to commit a crime to be pardoned. And he's committed no crime whatsoever. Unless Julian Assange is free to publish the truth about US government crimes against humanity, none of us are free. Free Assange now. A better world awaits if we create a culture of transparency and truth. We are all Assange.
We are all Assange.
We must keep working to bring about the unity of the people based on knowing the truth. This is basically what democracy is supposed to be about. It is us to make it happen. We help create democracy every time we pass on the truth and praise those who help us know the truth. We are all Assange. We must unite for important things like democracy, free speech, peace and justice. We are all Assange.
We're all Assange.
After 10 years of political persecution, which has included psychological torture, there can be no good outcome for Julian. But if we can free him from the hell created for him by the deep state, it will be a great day for him and all the decent people of the world. In the propaganda media, a steady stream of new lies arise to obfuscate the old lies. The trick for us is not to believe any lies. We must always look for evidence and think logically. We must also understand the motivations of powerful actors and reject oppression in all its forms. Stay strong, stay with the truth, stand up for justice and free Julian Assange. Julian Assange is persecuted for showing great integrity and dignity as a journalist who found a way to responsibly publish, without censorship, information we all have the right to know, and use it in our fight to defeat corruption and crimes against humanity. Free Assange now. In 2018, Julian Assange said that this generation is the last free generation. Unless we wake up enough people, freedom will be known as a conspiracy theory along with truth, peace and democracy. We must wake people up. Free Assange now. The deep state wants us afraid. It wants us fearful of each other. It wants us divided and ineffective. We must throw off the shackles and chains placed on us by media propaganda and lies. We are human beings with the power of free speech and the ability to look at knowledge of the truth. We are all Assange.
We're all Assange.
Everything else is a distraction. Julian Assange must be given his freedom immediately. Free Assange now. By publishing evidence of crimes against humanity, Julian Assange is a hero of human rights. We are all affected by the denial of human rights. We should all show our concern if we ever see human rights denied to anyone. We should all come together to defend our heroes of human rights when they themselves are denied their human rights. The lies about Julian Assange have been told so that the worst criminals can continue to walk free. We are all Assange. We cannot allow our corrupt system to treat Julian Assange in such a cruel way. We must stop his torture by freely speaking up and defending his right to inform us and our right to be truthfully informed. We must do our best to fix this. Free Assange now.
Free Assange now.
If we are serious about making the world a better place for everyone to live in, we need to take responsibility for what our governments do. We need to be able to unite against governments that persecute innocent journalists. This needs to happen now. Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange.
Unite now to free Julian Assange.
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 This is outrageous.
It's Scotty.
I'm Scotty. I'm Scotty.
Stop Morrison.
This is outrageous.
Pick up the phone, ScoMo.
No, I won't.
Pick up the phone, ScoMo. Call up Morris.
Listen, we are not here for Julian Assange. We are here for ourselves. We are here for you. We don't want to see any governments anywhere in the world treating people worse than animals based on lies and propaganda, or if they expose the crimes of public officials. We want the public officials charged, not Julian Assange. We want you to wake up and come and join us every Friday evening here, or we are not going to have any justice for ourselves. We will be under lockdown tyranny for the rest of our lives. Please come and join us on Friday evenings here. We need to get 1 million people out here telling ScoMo to call up Boris and fix this mess.
Fix it up, ScoMo.
I'm Scott Morrison, and I'll do nothing of the sort. I am not a powerful politician.
Shut him up, boo.
I mix with the powerful and important people. You people don't mean anything to me. I'm Scott Morrison. I just look after my friends, Donald Trump, my new friend, Mr. Biden, my old friend, Hillary Clinton. I will do nothing to assist Julian Assange. As I said in Parliament or somewhere like that, he must face the music.
You will face the music.
We've had a lot of media about the hearing in Britain, and Judge Barretza hearing the thing, and Julian Assange basically getting up on they're not able to extradite him at the moment. So then it came up for a bail hearing, as if they haven't had 2 years to think about the possibility of bail. They said, oh no, he can't be allowed out on bail because the US might want to appeal. So in other words, nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is the media has come out and told you all justice has been done. Nothing further from the truth. He is still in prison. That is about perception management, to make you believe that the system is going to give someone like Assange some semblance of justice. The only thing that's going to give him any semblance of justice is you and I standing here on the steps here and saying to our government, you've got to stop this, it's totally unfair, it's totally unreasonable, he's been tortured, it's been documented he's been tortured, and we don't want to live in a country where our government tortures people for telling the truth. The media is completely complicit. They are completely responsible for all this because they have lied by omission. They're not telling you the truth. They never tell you the truth, almost hardly ever. You know, and we need to realize people need to be skeptical of politicians and the media because they mislead us and they deceive us and we get bad policy. So we all need to stand up on the corner and say, we've had enough. We want to see some semblance of sensible justice. We want semblance of sensible justice for everybody on this planet, particularly Australian citizens. So please come and join us on Friday evenings here. It's very important. We want to swell the numbers now. They led us by the nose to believe there might be some justice at the end of the line. There was none. He's still in prison. The only thing that's changed is they said, oh, we had a hearing. Like hell. The hearing was a farce. It was a travesty. It was almost a joke. It shamed the legal profession. I would be ashamed to walk down the street and call myself any form of a judge in this state or in this country, or even be a barrister. Why aren't the barristers here with us? Now and again we have had one or two. We want all the barristers from Phillip Street to come down here after work and join us.
Free the truth!
Free Julian Assange!
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 As a lot of you know, last week Julian Assange went for bail. The judge presiding over his case in England locked him up back in a maximum security prison for terrorists when Julian Assange's only crime is to not report for bail when he was threatened with deportation to Sweden, where Swedish Attorney General was going to directly deport him to America. The judge has come out and said Julian Assange is an escape risk, therefore he can't have bail. He had offered to wear an ankle brace, but this is not a normal bail hearing. It was persecution, ongoing persecution of a whistleblower who has committed no crimes whatsoever, who has received over 100 awards for journalism and human rights from everyone from Amnesty International to the Media Alliance of Australia to the Walkley Awards, you name it. We know Julian Assange tells the truth. We urge that the Australian government of ScoMo speak up and defend this political refugee from Queensland, Julian Assange. When is the Australian government going to speak up for Assange? Not only are the Liberal Party guilty of covering up the war crimes that Julian Assange exposed, as Andrew Wilkie, the independent member from Tasmania, first revealed when he worked in Canberra in the spy section. Andrew Wilkie came out and said there are no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Our excuse for joining Uncle Sam and bombing the crap out of Iraq was fake. So what did the Liberal Party under John Howard do at the time? They referred Andrew Wilkie off for a mentally ill assessment. Now here's a highly respected Member of Parliament who is speaking up for Julian Assange, as are the Greens, as are other independents, as are even Conservative members of the Canberra politicians. But we should ask, where is our fearless Labor Party Leader of the Opposition, Anthony Albanese? Too busy keeping his head down and hoping to get into power should there be a federal election shortly. Anthony Albanese is not standing up for human rights. He will know that he will lose votes for betraying the Australian people. If people think the Labor Party is an alternative, they should contact all the Labor Party federal members and let them know that Albo will go southwards in the next federal election unless he stands up against the powers that be over this human rights issue.
Albo! Come on, Albo! Pick up the phone! Come on, Albo, pick up the phone!
Pick up the phone, Albo! And
Albo, show some initiative! Albo,
show some spine! Stand up for free Julian Assange! Why are we here? Free Julian Assange!
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 Whistleblowers generally should be supported. Julian Assange, Bernard Collaery, Witness K, David McBride, and all the whistleblowers in America who are still locked up.
Thank you. Your support is keeping me alive.
Different faces here. See you occasionally tweeting I kind of expected both of the outcomes that we saw, because I think if anyone has the remotest shred of humanity to rule against Julian Assange in the extradition hearing would have been, it's inconceivable. If you read about what's happened to him and you read about the facts and what he's been through, then you understand that it's a relief to all of his supporters and to him that the US extradition request was denied, because it's preposterous. It's an outlandish and outrageous attempt to stifle a brave publisher's free speech. So I was in fact expecting that the request would be denied, and I said that to a few of our associates here who were less hopeful, but fortunately that turned out to be the case. And then I was also expecting that his bail he would not be allowed bail, because I think that they've gone as far as the establishment has gone as far as they're willing to at this point in time. Probably they're going to wait and see how the pieces fall in the US when Biden assumes office, and then they'll take directions as to how things are going to pan out, whether the extradition hearing, the appeal will continue. But for now, we just have to be happy with it was not a great ruling for press freedom, but as Christine Assange said on Twitter the other day, Julian's done more than perhaps anyone alive perhaps for free speech, so our efforts need to be guided towards getting him free right now rather than any other cause, and that was denied to us at the last in the bail hearing, but apparently that's going to be appealed, so we've got a chance that will be overturned. I don't think it will be, but we can hope and pray and advocate for what is the right decision. And I have heard commentators say, like I think Craig Murray said it and others said it, that they're pretty confident that and I think Greg Barnes said it, that they're pretty confident on the basis of the fact that it was the expert evidence about Julian's health, his mental state, that was ultimately conclusive in the judge's mind in not allowing the extradition. And what I've heard said is that it's less likely that kind of expert evidence would be overturned. So let's hope that that's the case, and I hope and pray that is the case. And but in the meantime, it doesn't help him or Stella or his family or his close friends. And it gives us a shred of hope, but we're also disheartened at the same time that it's not over, and we have to keep coming out here. And I was all set to pack in my protesting for now, but unfortunately for Julian, we still have to come out and do what's right and what needs to be done. So keep up the fight for now, and keep up the pressure, and talk to your representative, your local politician, to the minister, educate your friends, spread the word, come to the protest on Fridays at Town Hall between 5 and 7 p.m. get on Twitter, fight the good fight, and don't stop until Julian is free, because Assange's freedom is our freedom. And what kind of a world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world where we don't get the opportunity to speak up against terrible crimes? Or do you want to just be a part of that establishment force of terror that wreaks havoc around the world? I know what side I'm on.
We want to know. We want a right to decide whether we should invade a foreign country. Not a few politicians that are taken out to dinner by businessmen and get huge amounts of public money and God knows what other money. The public has the right to a plebiscite regarding such serious matters, in my view. We have to stop allowing politicians to get away with very, very bad decisions, and we have this political system where you get to choose by the Labor. Come the elections, we get to choose whether we have a Labor Party or a Liberal Party, because they're ostensibly left-wing or right-wing. That is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Is invading a foreign country based on lies left-wing or right-wing? You tell me. But we have a policy in Australia where the policy regarding Assange is bipartisan. Both the Labor Party and the Liberal Party have decided to be stum. They're not going to say anything. How dare they be silent and watch such injustice? How dare they? We the people need to shout out to the politicians, do your job, do the right thing by the Australian people, and do the right thing by our lovely friends and neighbours in foreign countries. We want to trade with them, and we want to become wealthy with them, and we want to become friends with them. And our government and vested interests don't want that. There's no need for any wars anymore. All matters can be solved politically. So we want our government to solve geopolitical problems politically, not with military. It makes things worse. And Assange has basically thrust a spear right into the heart of that kind of thinking, and they don't like it. And they want to frighten the hell out of anyone that's going to expose their crimes. Well, we need thousands of people. Please come join us every Friday evening here outside the town hall until they free Assange. We're only here for one reason, to get him out of prison. That's one reason. We're not here for any other reason except for our shared humanity and our shared rights not to be victimised by corrupt governments.
Hi, I'm Mishka. I served in the Australian Army between 2001 and 2007. I served in Iraq, I served in Afghanistan. I saw what America did, I saw what America has done in Syria, I've seen what America has done in other countries. WikiLeaks exposed the truth. Julian Assange's only crime is exposing the truth. And how the truth is a crime is beyond me. Free Julian Assange immediately. His only crime is the truth. People are freed for lies every day. Our leaders tell lies every day. Yet, for exposing the truth, we make this man a criminal. This man should be given the Nobel Peace Prize for exposing what America has done to innocent people in Iraq and other countries. Please, free Julian Assange immediately.